Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto Channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. And once again, this is the one-day chart. We're sitting here at $2.07. Earlier today, XRP dipped down to $2.03. And people were wondering if we're going to go back down under $2 again. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But on the 1 week, you see all that sideways action, and then XRP starts breaking down. You could see that same setup on Bitcoin. Sideways action, moves up a little bit, breaks down, and now it's starting to move upward again. Bitcoin is back above 91K. So most likely we will see XRP start to move upward with Bitcoin from where we are right now, because we are still following Bitcoin. But are we going to fall under $2 again? It all comes down to how the market opens this morning. Usually on Mondays, if Bitcoin's sitting above 90K, right away they dump out the price of Bitcoin. They liquidate the longs, then they liquidate the shorts, and then all of a sudden the price starts to rebound again. But if we do see a dip or a dump on Bitcoin, there's a good chance XRP could dip below $2 again as well. It all comes down to what happens when the market opens. But I'm going to tell you right now, you don't panic if the price goes below $2 again. If XRP dumps out, just sit back or buy the dip. Do nothing or buy the dip. Because every time we see a dump happen in this market, what happens next? We start to see the price rebound again. This has been going on week over week all throughout this cycle. And GROK said this, posted this. So you see, XRP right now is in disbelief. And the next step would be euphoria. But are we going to see this major crash down before we get to euphoria? Because there's a lot of people predicting that as well. I think we're just going to start to move upward. Honestly, we had that major dump back in October. Most likely, that was the wick down that we were waiting for before we start to go parabolic. Elon Musk, GROK, sets XRP price for January 31st, 2026. So the AI model is predicting XRP to reach just below its all-time high of $3.65 and assigned a 35% probability to this scenario. So there's a 65% chance we go much higher. That's the way I look at it. Honestly, if that breakout begins and we start going off with the price of XRP, it's going to move so fast. We will be in price discovery so quick. People are not even going to be able to move quick enough to hit the buy button. That's how fast it's going to happen. And it's going to come without a warning. Everybody thinks we need this catalyst before the breakout begins. It can literally happen right now. The biggest crash of 2026 is coming next. Altcoin holders should be very happy. And this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And this is what everybody's waiting for. The Bitcoin dominance to fall off of a cliff. You see it back here. They're waiting for that to happen once again. And I believe that's right around the corner. Everybody out there right now is pushing hype around Bitcoin, getting in the retail investors so they can be utilized as exit liquidity. That's what's really going on with Bitcoin. And Mark Yusko says 2026 is going to be a peak year. Take a listen.
The point there is that all says 2026 is the peak. Now, does that mean December 2026? Does that mean October 2026? Who knows? Usually bad stuff starts to happen in September, October. September's the worst month. October's the second worst month. So, I get a little nervous about that. I do think we're in a bubble.
I do believe 2026 is going to be the peak for Bitcoin. Most likely, we will see one last move up and then it will come crashing down. I also don't believe we're in a super cycle. So, the world's highest IQ holder says XRP is in a super cycle. And that's the narrative right now. But it's not just XRP, it's Bitcoin. Everything's in a super cycle. Everybody's about to become rich overnight. Get ready. Make sure you're invested into these cryptocurrencies and so on. And it's not just the world's highest IQ. CZ, Supercycle. Tom Lee, Supercycle. Raw Paul, 5-year cycle. But what it is this. They are telling you to get into Bitcoin now, that the 4-year cycle's dead. Bitcoin's going to continue up forever, and we're not going to see any more pullbacks on Bitcoin. And I think it's all a scam. I think what's going to happen is Bitcoin's going to top out, come crashing down, and we're going to get our alt season. What's changing is the fact that utility is here now, and utility can start driving the price of these utility-driven cryptocurrencies. Do I think XRP is in a super cycle? Most likely not. I think it's headed towards a utility cycle, and nobody knows how long that lasts. I mean, all you got to do is really just look at the next big thing to happen in crypto, which is tokenization. That's going to be huge going throughout 2026. So how does XRP crash down if we have trillions of dollars in assets coming on board the XRP ledger? And XRP is being utilized to move those assets from point A to point B. Plus, you have cross-border payments still amping up as well. Look at the transaction volume on the XRP ledger. Then you got the ETF inflows still happening at the same time. I think we're headed towards a utility run for XRP, but I do believe that we are going to see Bitcoin crash hard after it pumps to a new all-time high. XRP futures traders are now helping to sustain the price with billions of XRP now locked on exchanges. So XRP has registered a significant rise within the last 24 hours as investors rekindle their bet on the coin. CoinGlass data shows that open interest has surged to over $4 billion as 1.93 billion XRP were committed to the futures market by traders on different exchanges. People are getting positioned now. Everybody knows that it's about to happen. You could already see it coming. The chart is screaming that a breakout is coming. But all that's holding us back still is the fact that we are still following Bitcoin. Once they finally stop dumping out the price of Bitcoin on a Monday or a Friday and they just let it start running up, that's going to be the moment we've been waiting for. It's too early to say that this is the moment we've been waiting for, because I see people saying the biggest run in history just started 5 minutes ago. I don't know if it happened, if it started yet or not. One thing I do know that is happening right now is we are still in uncertain times with crypto. It's so unpredictable still. Analyst outlines the bull case for XRP and why price will hit all-time highs soon. They're talking about the DXY in this article. And I always used to show you the DXY. I said the DXY indicates what's going to happen next as far as crypto. So here's the DXY right now. On the 5-day, you could see it's starting to pull downward. And people are expecting this to continue to push down. If that happens, and we see what happened in history with the DXY, you could tell when we will see a major run-up. This was the DXY back in 2021, and then crypto went parabolic. If you go back to 2017, same thing happened back then before the all-time high with XRP. But are we at that moment right now? It comes down to where the DXY goes from here. It's still too soon to say. You are so lucky. That's the moment that's coming next, where people are going to say, wow, you got so lucky by investing in the crypto. But they don't realize what you go through as a crypto investor. They don't realize when a red day shows up and that frustration sets in, or you get to see delay after delay happen with the cryptocurrency you're invested in, like this right here on the 7-day chart, where XRP went sideways for a decent period of time. We've seen that all throughout my time of holding XRP. I mean, look at this right here. I held through that to get to this. Then it came back down. I held through that to get to this. And hopefully the next push up is a life-changing move on XRP. But you could see it coming. I still think this right here is literally this right here. That's where I think we are right now, waiting for this to happen. And if that is what's about to play out, we're looking at $50 plus for XRP, most likely $100 plus for XRP. But once the breakout begins, I think we'll have a better understanding on how high the price is going to go. Even the conservative people out there right now are still saying $15 for XRP. $13 to $15. Other people are sticking to the $27 price point. I think we go higher because of the ETF inflows, taking XRP out of circulation. I think if tokenization gets going really soon before we see the breakout begin, that could really push us to some very high price points. Is that Clarity Act going to get done this week? If that happens, that could be very bullish for crypto as well. Who knows? Maybe that's what sets off this run, because that could be looked at as being bullish for all of crypto. But what's going to happen this morning is really going to tell us what happens next. If they dump out the price of Bitcoin again, don't get frustrated. You all know what's coming. All you do is sit back and wait for it to happen. Don't panic sell your XRP. And until it does happen, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.